Alrighty, on The Fan, listen up. We are going to learn plenty on this week's episode. You've all heard of rehab. That comes after an injury. Now we're going to talk prehab, because this has become so important, not just in rugby league, across all sport. Prehab, definition, what does it mean?
So it's training that's done to prevent injury happening in the first place. Probably more effective than rehab, because then you don't have to deal with the, the resulting issue. But yeah, it's training that we now know we can put into place to stop things like hamstring injuries, ACL injuries, those kind of things. We can actually, well, not only stop them, but lower the risk of them occurring in the season.
Okay, going to take that on board. Now, at NRL Physio, we put him to the real test. Back in my day, when I first started rugby league, no one pulled out in warm-up. No one did their hemi or their knee, and now it happens every second week. The 18th man is activated because someone gets injured in warm-up. Does that mean that we're not good at prehab? We don't know all there is to know? Aren't they bigger, faster, stronger? They shouldn't have this happen.
Bossy, I'm so excited to talk to you about this.
Sure.
I'm so excited because all I'll say a lot, but what I will say is that those injuries, if they're happening in warm-ups, how do you think they would have gone when they got out on the field and went through even bigger speed, bigger forces, bigger collisions? Those injuries were waiting to happen. If those guys did not go through those proper warm-ups, the adequate, preparing their body for those things, the injuries would have not only occurred in the game, but they might have even been worse. So it's probably, my argument always is, much better to lose a player in a warm-up than in the second minute of the game.
Very interesting, because I remember talking to Sid Williams. Sid Williams is the Balmain try scorer in 1969 grand final. When he first got a run, injury, George Rubner, injured half-time. Sid, you're on. He does a few star jumps and runs on and plays. So are you saying that we've reached a level where you do have to warm up for half an hour? It's part and parcel of the game now, or longer? I mean, some teams warm up for longer. It's here to stay. Yeah,
absolutely. It's one of those things where you hit the nail on the head, bigger, faster, stronger, right? So the forces that these guys are going out on the field to be up against, they need to prepare their bodies. If they don't, if you think that the number of injuries in warm-ups are high, just you wait if we had guys swinging the leg backwards and forwards and going for a few jogs.
Star jumps.
Mate, I'm telling you.
Few burpees.
The injury rate.
Jog on the spot, hit the knees. Not enough.
Through the roof, mate. Through the roof.
All right, OK. Well, this is very interesting. So let's bring what we started off, prehab. If we know more and we look after our athletes pre the event better, can the instance be lowered? Is there any evidence to suggest that?
Yeah, absolutely. And probably one of the most exciting areas is your ACL injuries. So, ACL injuries mostly non-contact, so guys who are changing direction, jumping, landing, that kind of thing. There are specific injury prevention programs out there now that are decreasing the risk of ACL injuries up to 60, 70%.
Wow.
So we're talking about big reductions in these major injuries that affect our sport so much. So this is a growing area of research, and people are coming up with new programs and new ways to achieve it all the time. But it truly is one of the most exciting parts of sort of my job and definitely the sports medical field, this injury prevention and actually being able to lower the risk of injury through prehab and training. All
right, so what have we learned on this week's episode of The Fan? The warm-up is critical, and yes, they do have to do it at full intensity. It does have to be long, but prehab, it can be the game changer. At NRL Physio, Brian Seaney, he knows so much. Thank you again for coming on the program.
Pleasure, mate.
On The Fan.